The views expressed on Teachavision are those of the interviewee and interviewer and do not represent Screenless Allies as a whole.
Hello there, and welcome to Teachavision, where everyone has a different vision of learning, episode number 14. My name is Jose Briseño, and today, this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode because we believe that this part of the interview with Miss Sonia Herrera, blind mother, deserves a separate section. Because today on part 2, we're going to be discussing what her biggest fear is of watching her children grow, along with some school-related issues. All that and more on this episode of Teachavision by Screenless Allies. Do you ever find yourself worrying about anything as your child grows that you can say, oh man, for a sighted mom, it's a little more easier than me?
Honestly, I don't really worry about anything. Like, my main fear, honestly, is for them to grow up and be ashamed of me, of my disability. Like, that's my biggest fear from my children. And
I've heard of that before, too.
Yeah, and I talk about it with my family. Like, sometimes, I'm like, what if they grow up to be ashamed of me? They don't love me because I'm different from other parents. When they start noticing that, And my son, he's 5, and he started going to the kindergarten not too long ago, like a month ago. And he has mentioned a couple of times, because I have to wake him up super early to go on the bus, even though the school is just down the street, like maybe a mile down the street, and I have to wake him up for the bus like an hour and a half before school starts. And sometimes he complains and he's like, how come you don't drive like other moms and drive me to school? And I'm like, because I can't, baby. You have to ride the bus. And sometimes he does get upset and ask those kinds of questions, like, why can't you do this? Why can't you do that? Right now you can tell them, oh, I can't do it because of this, and they'll be like, okay. They won't really mind it, but once they're older and they start noticing why, or really realizing why, that's my fear, that they're like, oh, she can't do anything, like, why is she my mother, or something like that, and that's what I really fear for them. That's my biggest
fear. I think what helps now at this point is that he's 5, so he's curious about these kind of things. I'm not a parent, however, just kind of based off of what I've observed is with family members, like on my end, is they're little kids, they understand. My little sister, she knew right away that I couldn't see because she started guiding me when she was like 3. And I was 8 years old, and she'd just take her little finger and she had me going everywhere and having me play with her and everything. I'm just like...
They start learning at an early age. They catch on simple things. Like my sons, when they want to show me something, they're like, look, Mom, like the toy or their hair or something. And I'm like, oh, yeah, they look nice. And they're like, no, really look. And they grab my hand and they make me touch whatever they're showing me or anything like that. So I'm like, wow, they by themselves catch on to those things.
For your son, it sounds like he's still learning, but it sounds like they know that you're totally blind, so they have to
they just think it's like a natural habit that would probably normal to them, because they see me do things, and to them it's like something that's normal, but they don't realize it's because I can't see. They just think I do it because that's the way you do it. I don't know.
Right. I understand. No, I understand. That's a good answer. You said you have a 5-year-old in school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, because we're looking at homework now, they always say, oh, have your mom help you with homework. How have you handled that? Has the school been accommodating to you and maybe giving you like a copy of it on an email that you could read, or?
Don't get me started on it. I'm actually at this very moment, I'm dealing with that because so far yesterday was the first time he brought homework. The school didn't really give him homework for like a month. So yesterday is the first day, and I am struggling currently with it because I still have a little bit of vision. I can probably use a CCTV, but I don't have one, and they're very, very expensive. I called everywhere, and they range from $1,600 to $4,000. And obviously, as a blind parent, and my husband only has a job, I'm a homemaker. We can't afford it. We can't just pull out $4,000 out of our pocket, And I've been trying to contact organizations that can help me get one, but honestly, they said you either have to be going to school or work. We don't help homemakers, and that's very wrong because I think being a mom at home is as important as being a student or having a job. It's very difficult, and it's even harder because you're on 24/7 because your children might need you at night. You might have to be away doing things for them at night. So I think it's even a harder job sometimes. I called the school. The school told me to talk to the teacher. So I talked to the teacher, and she said that the only thing she can do is to send me the homework through email, like a copy. But she did send it to me. I try to read it with my phone, but since a lot of kindergarten homework has a lot of images, it's really hard for my phone to read it back to me. So I think the best way to go is to get a CCTV and be able to help him like that, or have a family member help me, because my husband's sighted, but he's only a Spanish speaker, so he would have trouble reading the English and understanding.
Right, and it's a little frustrating.
Yes,
it's a little frustrating
it's
for
so
him to...
like, me and him is so frustrating because this is not like kids related, but every time we go like to somewhere like a restaurant or go grocery shopping or something, and it's like, I know English, but I'm blind, and he's sighted, but he only speaks Spanish. It's like, it's so hard.
So you would say that for like future teachers, you would say to make sure that when it comes to giving homework to parents that are totally blind, to make it accessible, don't use that many images, right?
I kind of understand that the kids have to, the way they learn, it's to kind of see a visual image as well. So I understand, but for example, for me, the teacher, I asked her, can you find a way to get the homework to me? And she said she's been teaching for 20 plus years, and all her life, no parent has ever asked her to accommodate them. This is her first time, so she was really surprised, and she didn't really know how to help me. So I was the one kind of giving her ideas, but she could only scan it in and send it to me through email. And yes, it's hard because the images, maybe if they can limit the images, but I mean, I'm pretty sure they have to, because like I said, children learn from, seeing things.
They're learning graphically, whereas when we were in school, we learned with Braille. We learned with the tactile graphics. We learned with all that in school. So it's a big transition when it comes to actually like helping kids out with homework. It totally makes a lot more sense. Thank you for joining us for this edition of Teachavision by Screenless Allies. We'll see you on the next one. Meanwhile, you can check out our website at screenlessallies.com. SCREENLESSALLIES.com. Check out our Facebook, facebook.com/ScreenlessAlliesOfficial. And most importantly, please tell your friends about us. And if you have any suggestions or comments or questions, you can definitely email those to info@screenlessallies.com. We'll see you next time, and thank you for listening.